All right. Again, this is only a rough outline of the story. There is a lot more depth to the actual screenplay, but I'm still in the process of fixing some plot holes. Major plot holes, actually. So, yeah. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Oh, and one more thing. The more I revise this script, the more similarities I find with Othello or even Frankenstein. So I just want to clarify that I didn't intentionally draw these parallels, in case you think that I'm recycling stories or anything like that.
Relax. Just tell me what it's about.
All right. Set 40 years from now, the world has seen the next revolution in science. Biotechnology, chemical engineering, and information technology are all finally one single field. So yeah, like everything looks amazing and futuristic, but what is most fascinating is that this new young generation is growing up around insane supercomputers, and they're all being brought up to become hardcore scientists. These kids are designing DNA and living organisms as if they were iPhone games. Now, the story revolves around this guy, Mark. He's only 15, still in high school, but on the inside, he feels he's destined to do something special. In the meantime, however, he's just bullied around. Girls from the future find him repugnant, and he still hasn't been anywhere near his first kiss. Now, even in a time like 2050, all these things make someone like Mark look socially inept. But naturally, he's an utter genius at almost everything else. So, one day, Mark and his classmates are assigned to construct a human organ of their choice. They would have to show these in front of the class. So yeah, most of the other kids decide right away to go for something small or simple like a kidney, while a few others more ambitiously decide to go for a lung or a heart.
Hold on. How do these high school kids go about making organs?
At home, with their supercomputers or lab kits or whatnot. I mean, I haven't given it enough thought, but it doesn't really matter for now. And the point is, Mark is obviously too brilliant to pick only a single organ. And why not show off a little in front of the kids who made his life harder on a daily basis? So, yeah, Mark dedicates non-stop days and weekends to this project. His life finally has a purpose. He misses the due date for class, but it doesn't even matter at this point. It's no longer about a grade or pride. He has more ambitious plans. Months pass by and Mark is still working on his super secret project. Not even his parents know what the life-size smelly mass submerged in some sort of green liquid is doing in Mark's room. The kid is obsessed with this. One evening, Mark and his parents are having a loud argument at the dinner table over how Mark never leaves his room. Everyone is yelling at each other, an electric storm's going on outside, the dog is barking, when all of a sudden, the most intense, deafening scream comes from upstairs. Mark rushes towards his room and his parents follow right after. He opens the door. He works his way through the smoke that has engulfed the room. He cannot believe his eyes. A naked woman of about 20 lays on his bed as she struggles to breathe. The bed is filled with green stains from the substance she's covered in, and a wet umbilical cord attaches her to some sort of complex machine. The woman slowly begins to catch her breath as she looks directly at Mark, her creator. Eventually, Mark explains to his parents that he's been working on what might be the greatest breakthrough in history. The woman upon their eyes could be the first independent attempt to construct a superhuman, a flawless, godlike living organism. However, what Mark doesn't mention to Mom and Dad is that he didn't attribute this exotic-looking woman perfect skin and large breasts for no particular reason. This superwoman is his very own Superwoman. After all, he is only 15 and has never been kissed. Are you still following?
Well, I'm kind of confused about the girl's purpose. Is she like Mark's new sex object?
No,
or...
no. Hold on. The birth process is complete once Mark detaches the Superwoman from the machine.
Does she have a name?
Helen.
Oh, no, like Helen of Troy.
Exactly. She's ridiculously hot, which is simply bound for disaster. But to answer your question, no. Mark takes very much care of Helen from the very first moment. This is his most precious belonging. Now, because Helen is so advanced, she learns all these survival basics in a matter of weeks, and after a few months, she's already as brilliant as Mark and pretty social for an artificial being. So it doesn't take long for the word to go out on the street about this breakthrough in science. Articles about Helen start taking over the science media, and soon after, absolutely everyone wants to meet her. Model agencies, TV shows, news networks, everyone craves a moment with Helen.
Wait, what about Mark?
They don't care about him.
Why not?
Well, he's not relevant.
Even though Helen came out of his science project?
Yeah, why would they care about that? I mean, Helen is as brilliant as a molecular scientist, and she looks like a bikini model. How is Mark even comparable?
So, what happens to him?
He's very upset, obviously. This superwoman was supposed to be the solution to his shitty life, but instead, Mark created a monster that devoured his dreams and ambitions. She goes from being a local celebrity to some sort of prophet praised all over the world. But witnessing her glory and success from a third-person perspective is just too painful for Mark.
So, does she leave Mark behind?
Oh no. Mark and Helen stick together all this time. She takes him with her everywhere she goes, kind of like a couple.
Weird. I thought her success went over her head.
No. She is aware that Mark is her creator and respects him for that. The problem is that Mark feels more like an accessory to this god that he created himself. And he can't handle that. He has to do something about it.
So all this frustration comes from envy towards her. I mean, her fame and success.
Partially.
What do you mean?
Don't you feel like this situation is a little unfair?
From Mark's perspective?
I mean, the kid grew up segregated by society his whole life, and now the one time he decides to fabricate his own path, he's punished right back. Anyway, Mark designs a plan to end this nonsense. Now at this point, Helen is at the top of her game. She's traveling 24/7 all over the world, giving interviews, talks, and messages of hope as if she was a really attractive messiah. But Mark convinces Helen to take a break from the celebrity lifestyle and go somewhere isolated with him, even though God doesn't really need a vacation. Mark takes Helen to a tiny village on a mountain in the middle of nowhere, like, I don't know, Peru. And she agrees. They arrive there, and it's actually a break for the both of them. They are finally able to appreciate nature and the world as it essentially is, without power, money, or society. At one point, Mark even starts to reconsider his thoughts regarding his secret plan. But after a long discussion over human ethics, in which Helen had way stronger arguments, Mark realizes that all this nature getaway bullshit is just a simple distraction. He still can't handle the superiority of his creation. So he waits for the right moment, when Helen is at her most vulnerable state.
What, you mean that's it?
Yeah.
He just kills her?
I know it's a little abrupt.
And it ends like that? So what happens to him?
What do you mean?
What do they do to him?
Nothing.
He just killed a godlike figure. How is he not punished?
He's been punished all his life, and he created this thing.
No, but still, he has no right to do that.
He has all the right in the world. I mean, after everything he's been through, he's completely justified.
Wait, I gotta take this call. Hey! Hey, how are you? No, I'm good. How are you?